Now let's just talk about how we can find the probability. As we know that we are talking about probability being an experimental approach, means on the basis of the experimental data that we are getting, we will find the probability. So let us suppose if I am talking about that how or using which formula we can able to find out the probability of all about an experimental approach. So let us suppose we are taking n being the number of the trials. So if let n be the number of the trials, then in order to find the probability, the formula would be like the empirical probability is defined as PE. One very special note, empirical probability or experimental probability, it is one of the same thing. So here if we are writing empirical probability, it is just same as that of the experimental probability. So always remember, if we are talking about the empirical probability or if we are talking about the experimental probability, both of these are nothing but equal to each other. So the empirical probability, or we can also say the experimental probability, which is defined as P of E, where E is representing an event. E is representing an event. So the empirical probability PE of an event is nothing but is equal to number of trials in which the event happened divided by the total number of the trials. So this is the formula using which now we can able to find out the probability of any particular event. So always remember, empirical probability or the experimental probability is nothing but represented as P of E, where P is representing a symbol of probability. E is nothing but all about an event which we are going to find out, which is nothing but is equal to the number of the trials in which the event happened. Number of trials in which the event happened divided by the total number of the trials. So always remember, number of trials in which the event happened divided by the total number of the trials. Now on the basis of this particular formula, let's just do an example which will definitely help us to relate this formula a little bit more. So let us suppose if I'm talking about an example. So it says a coin is tossed 1,000 times. So it means we have tossed a coin 1,000 times with the following frequencies, and the frequencies are like the head is coming up 455 times, tail is coming up 545 times. Compute the probability of each event. So we have to find out the probability of each event. So let's just start finding out the probability. So first of all, in order to answer this, we have to suppose the number of the trials, because the small n actually represents the number of the trials. So let n is equal to 1,000 being the number of the trials, because we know that we have a coin which is tossed 1,000 times. So it means that the number of trials are actually nothing but 1,000. So let the number of trials is nothing but is equal to 1,000, because we know that coin is tossed 1,000 times, so the number of the trials are nothing but 1,000. And now we have to suppose the events of getting a head or getting a tail as nothing but E and F. So let us suppose let getting a head, or a tail in a toss of a coin, getting a head or tail in tossing a coin, BE and BE or F. So let us suppose if I'm saying we are supposing getting a head or a tail in tossing a coin, BE or F. So it means that let us suppose if I'm taking E as nothing but that is, let us suppose that is E is representing getting a head and F is representing an event of getting a tail. So now we have to compute that the probability, what is the probability of each event? So let us suppose if we are starting with the probability of getting a head, the probability of getting a head. So the probability of getting a head should be nothing but of the type P of E, because we are talking about probability of getting a head, and getting a head is nothing but denoted by as an event, which is nothing but E, So the probability of E is nothing but is equal to the number of the trials in which the event happened. It is nothing but is equal to the number of the trials in which the event happened divided by the total number of the trials, So what does it mean? It means the probability of E should be equal to the number of the trials in which the event happened. So actually the number of the times the head comes up is nothing but 455. So this is nothing but 455 divided by the total number of the trials. What are the total number of the trials? We know that the total number of trials is actually nothing but 1000. So this one is nothing but 1000. So the answer for this is nothing but 0.455. Now in the similar manner, similarly we can say the probability of getting a tail is defined as probability of F, because we have taken the event of getting a tail as nothing but F. So P of F should be nothing but is equal to the number of the trials in which the event happened. How many times a tail occur in this particular event? This is 545. So this would be 545 divided by the total number of the trials, that is nothing but 1000. So hence it is nothing but is equal to 0.545. And at the end, what is the probability of getting a head? It is nothing but 0.455. And what is the probability of getting a tail? It is nothing but 0.454 when a particular coin is tossed 1000 times. So this is nothing but our answer, which is all based on the formula of the empirical probability or the experimental probability. So I hope all the steps related to this particular question is all clear to you.